Hi, my name is Felipe, and I did a master's degree in industrial engineering and operations research at UC Berkeley. This module is about web scraping, and in this video, I'll give you a brief introduction on the topic. This video is divided in 4 parts. First, I'll show you the motivation behind using web scraping techniques. Then I'll introduce the basic concepts of HTML. After that, I'll give a brief description of BeautifulSoup, which is a Python library for web scraping. Finally, I'll show some additional resources on the topic. So let's start. What is web scraping and why do we need it? One definition given by Ryan Mitchell is, web scraping is the practice of gathering data through any means other than API. In other words, web scraping is a collection of data directly from the website HTML code. It is a very useful method because data in real world don't always come in structured data tables, and we don't always have APIs. Actually, if an API is available, we should definitely use it instead. But the truth is that a lot of websites don't provide them. And if they provide, they sometimes limit the number of requests. So web scraping let us take advantage of all the valuable information available online to be extracted. That's why it is a very useful tool for data scientists. However, we should always be careful with the terms of service of the target website. Some use cases of web scraping are price comparison tools such as Kayak, which relies heavily on web scraping to collect prices from different sources. You can also use web scraping for a sentiment analysis project, for example, by collecting the reviews of users in a particular website. I hope you now have a better idea of the power of web scraping. Let's now talk about HTML. In order to do web scraping, we must first understand how a web page is structured. We usually have 3 layers of code: the HTML code with the content, the CSS code for the formatting and layout, and some JavaScript code for more complex interactions with the user. In this module, we will focus on web scraping for the HTML code only, which is called the passive web scraping. But in the end of this video, I'll show other resources for an active web scraping. So the first thing we need to do is to collect the HTML content, and this is done with the requests library. It is very easy to use. You basically input the URL of the website in the method and store the content in a variable. Let's now talk about tags. An HTML code is structured in tags, which are keywords that tell the browser how to format and display the content. So for example, the P stands for paragraph. So it shows the web browser that I'm going to introduce a paragraph in the code. We can also see a nested structure with tags one inside the other. The attributes provide additional information to the tag elements. The main attributes useful for web scraping are the class and the ID. The class is used to identify multiple elements with a value, while the ID is used to identify a particular element. And that's how we can filter the HTML code later with some web scraping tools. Let's now introduce BeautifulSoup. This is a very popular Python library for web scraping. Given the HTML content stored in a variable, we can easily extract specific information using the main methods, which are find and find all, and they are used to filter the content. As mentioned before, we can use the IDs and classes to get specific elements from the page in an easy way. To conclude, there are other famous libraries for web scraping, such as Selenium and Scrapy. Selenium is compatible with JavaScript, while Scrapy is very fast and robust, ideal for large projects. So this was an introduction to web scraping, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the module.